The attorney representing the JLP's Dr. Michelle Charles, Abe Daboub, is calling on the PNP and its youth organization to retract what he describes as defamatory statements questioning the legitimacy of Dr. Charles's election to the House of Representatives. Charles is the Member of Parliament for East St. Thomas. The call for a retraction comes after PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell and the PNP YO called on Dr. Charles to provide proof of her renunciation of U.S. citizenship. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
The statement calling for a retraction was issued on the letterhead of Dabdoub and Company. It was sent to Dr. Dayton Campbell on Monday, June 24, 2024. Attorney representing Dr. Charles, Abe Daboub, says his firm was consulted by Dr. Michelle Charles concerning what she views as defamatory allegations and innuendos mounted against her by Dr. Campbell and members of the PNP. These involved questioning the legitimacy of her election to the House of Representatives. Dr. Charles has repeatedly told Nationwide News that she is fully Jamaican. In the letter, Mr. Dabdoub says that contrary to the PNP's allegations and innuendos, the Member of Parliament was duly and validly elected. It says she is and was, at the time of her nomination, a citizen of Jamaica residing in Jamaica for more than 12 months before her nomination. It also says Dr. Charles was not a citizen or under any form of allegiance whatsoever to a foreign power or state, including a Commonwealth foreign power or state. The letter says her allegiance is and was to Jamaica only, in keeping with the oath taken at the time of her swearing in as a Member of Parliament. Mr. Dabdoub is demanding that Dr. Campbell publicly apologize for the allegations and innuendos made by the party, including the PNP youth organization. Abe Daboub is the attorney who successfully challenged the legitimacy of West Portland MP Darrell Vaz's election to the House of Representatives in 2008 due to his dual citizenship. The challenge triggered a by-election for the seat that Mr. Vaz again successfully won in 2009.
So, the country continues to record a steady decline in the homicide rate since the start of the year, and that's according to the latest statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF. These figures reveal an 11% drop in murders between January 1 and June this year, when compared to the same period in 2023. According to the JCF, 560 murders were recorded between January 1 and June 22 this year. That's 74 fewer than the 634 recorded in the same period last year. St. James continues to record the most murders in any police division with 71 homicides to date. The Western Parish is followed by Westmoreland, which had 55 murders up to June 22. So, in public opinion today, we ask you, the public, as murders continue to trend down, is your confidence in the police increasing? We headed over to X, formerly known as Twitter, and immediately I see a comment from Mark that says, "Yes, I love the work that they are doing to keep Jamaica safe." Honorable Sally Portius, yes, former Custos of Manchester, I believe. "Yes, for sure. I think the police are doing an amazing job. They are catching the murderers. They are restoring law and order in areas the Don man ruled. Their new uniform gives them new status. They look like a strong force of fighting men and women, and this is what we need." This person actually doesn't have a name. Was this Kareem? Let's go with Kareem. I think that's Kareem Seavright. Says, "Nope. We need more community intervention. The public has lost faith in the police and are placing it in the hands of dons. JCF needs to train their recruits in de-escalation and conflict resolutions. Giving in to emotions and viewing others with stereotypes will not solve crime." All right. The Think Different podcast says, what's actually considered trend down? Because it must be very thin. Police officers, or police personnel in this case, I guess, can still be commended, but hard to see any sort of confidence increasing at the moment due to various negative factors. What are those factors, though? It would have been nice if they added that in like the thread. But we keep going on, yeah? Kwame McPherson says, "The strategies initiated under Anderson," I believe that's Major General Anthony Anderson, former Commissioner of Police, "are meant for the medium to long term. We are starting to see how his move to modernize the police and implement plans are bearing small fruits. The public just needs to support and be patient." Mr. Do It Nice says, indeed, I am becoming more confident in the police, but I think that our citizenry ought to treat our cops with more decency. Too many run-ins with the law on pointless matters. Alright, what else do we have here? Tashana Taylor says, murders been going down 3 years in a row. Confidence in police been going up 3 years in a row. Alright. JC says, I have no evidence that police activity is related to less murders. Graham Jervis says, always had confidence in the police. Now they have the tools to do their job finally. Also the monetary motivation. Truth and Rights says, nope. Yeah? What else we have here? Alright, that's all we have for Twitter, X. Yeah? So let's go over to Instagram. Barrington Buck says, when murder's trending down, you guys only upset people. I don't know what that means, but fair enough, yeah? York Rich says, the JCF has nothing to do with the increase or decrease in crime. Dwight Venn says, better but not where it should be yet. What else we have here? Alexandria says, trend now. Almost every 5 minutes there is a post about somebody getting caught up. As some people start calling it now. SMH. Dave Hall 166 says, it's a ploy to hide statistics. We need it every week to be our own judge. Alright, one Kai Keen says, no, unfortunately, these things just fluctuate. Will Ryan Wilson says, going down where exactly? I really need to visit that Jamaica y'all talking about, yeah? Tanya Thelwell says, trend down. Are we living in Jamaica, the West Indies? Lily887 says, every time they announced a decrease in murder, there's a spike after. Always noticed the trend. Wevon Senjoy says, yes, I have a little more faith in the police force. 40ish Fine says, where? Somebody else said that. Sharion Poorman says, where as well. Alright. And last but not least, we have Facebook. Then we go over to YouTube, yeah? Alright, here we are. So we asked once again, as murders continue to trend down, is your confidence in the police increasing? And this is based off of statistics provided by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Let's take a look at what folks on Facebook are saying. Here we are. We have 7 comments. Let's go through them. Marcia Winter says, yes, because they are doing a very good job. Gone are the days when they were so laid back. But recently I can say they have been going above and beyond to solve crime. They are responding faster too. Thumbs up to the JCF. Andrew Frater says, why not? They are the buffers between law-abiding citizens and criminals. Just for citizens to step up and support the police more, tell them what you know. CJ says, I've never lost confidence in the police since Anthony Anderson became commissioner. I'm still watching this commissioner though. Shanna Scott says, yes, because of the good work the police, I can go back on the roads in the evenings in my community. Alright, YouTubers, you are up. What do you have to say about the downward trend in murders so far this year compared to last year? Yeah, what do we have here? Precious Soul says, yes, I am seeing the police very often in my community. Alright. What else do we have here? Are we actually discussing the topic at hand, YouTubers? What am I seeing? What am I seeing here? Trying to see if I can see any other answers. Do we have any other answers? Marquis Alfonso says, 1 year is not a trend. Okay. Chief of Staff says, is this related to what we're talking about, Chief of Staff? I'm not seeing many police centered comments here in the YouTube chat. I don't want to just be reading things out of context, yeah? YouTubers, talk to me. What are you feeling on this public opinion, yes? As murders continue to trend down, has your confidence in the police improved? Is it increasing? There we go, we're seeing some answers now. Errol Murray says they are improving. There we go. Anybody else? Or can I end things early today? Can we go straight to the business report? We might have to do that, you know, folks. I'm not necessarily seeing anything in the YouTube chat right here. Yes, no, maybe so. Verly Green says, yes, I really do trust their reports. But Carleen Smith says, feel nothing. And she's tagged me, she says, at Mahiri. What else we have here? Donovan Phillips says, when there's a report that crime is down right after there's a hike in murder. Remember Black Man trial where black men send them out to send the rate up. All right. Robert Mackenzie says there's a lot more vehicles on the road. Juliet Sanchez says all I see is police giving out more tickets. Dre says the police has become much more professional.
I suspect we'll continue to have this conversation. We'll continue to search for answers, and at this point we can just hope that these trends will be sustained throughout the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
And we'll end the year at least below 1,000.
I hope and pray for that.
Yeah.
That would be something to celebrate, I tell you.
Anthony Clayton is Professor of Sustainable Development at the University of the West Indies, Mona. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you,
Prof. Have a good one.
Yeah, man.
Ricardo, if we can get this murder figure, and of course, you know, the professor is right. This issue is multi-layered. There are so many things feeding into it, right?
Yeah.
If we could get that number of murders below 1,000, if we can get it below 1,000, if the efforts can continue to be put in place for us to get the number below 1,000, you know, I think we could fairly make an argument to say, all right, we need to look at these areas. This is what we've been doing, and this is what is working. If we can bring the numbers down to 1,000, Ricardo, that would be significant. And we haven't been below 1,000 in years, you know.
Part of the difficulty, though, in Tyrone, is that, and I'm of two minds on this difficulty, because I understand that when people say, you know, you must depoliticize the crime fight, I'm almost torn, because I understand that security is going to be a political issue, as is health, as is education. But I feel like if we can get to the point that we have on the economy, where we have now, I hope at least, taken it for granted that there's going to be an adherence to fiscal discipline, yes? And that those benchmarks are sacrosanct and they will not be breached. It seems that we've crossed that line and we're not going back. It seems so. But both political parties understand the way forward, and I'm hoping that we stick to it. I think we need to get there on national security, where we are clear in our minds that we are adopting an approach and we're going to stick to the approach over a period of time. And no matter if the government changes, no matter who is the minister or the opposition spokesperson, people won't renege on the commitments they made when they think it's politically expedient. Because I think that's part of the problem.
No, I think you're coming back to your own argument about you being torn.
Yes, no, because I understand. No, I appreciate the difficulty. Yes, absolutely. I appreciate the difficulty.
It's not politics that is causing the lack of continuity.
Yes. And I appreciate,
for example.
Precisely. And I appreciate that the political parties will say, you know, but if a government is failing at crime or failing at security, we have to say something. We have to criticize them. I get that. But it seems to me that we're going to have to move beyond that. We have to try to move beyond that.
I agree with you, and I think a lot of what happens is not just criticizing to say, hey, the crime thing is getting out of control, give the police the resources they need. No, it is about more people were murdered under your tenure than mine.
Yes,
that is nothing to brag about.
Yes.
And that's what that is absolutely insipid, I think, and it's insensitive. And just downright politics that we should not be playing, because people, these are actual lives, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just statistics, you know. People are losing their loved ones.
Yeah. And certainly as this election looms, we've entered into new territory where data is being questioned, statistics are being questioned, and
dangerous.
We are in a very, very dangerous space. And
the public, and I don't mean to cut you, Ricardo, but I want to just piggyback on your point. The public needs to get to the point where it rejects out of hand people who just call into question statistics without providing more.
Absolutely.
Without more, you cannot just be allowed to call into question. For example, let's look at the Spark program. I mentioned this earlier while hosting Cliff Hughes Online. Peter Bunting just basically came out and said he's prophesying that something is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Peter Bunting is not among the prophets.
Yeah.
And because he knows either that he can't present evidence that he has, or I doubt he has it, or he has not presented more, but he's saying, I know something is going to go wrong. And that kind of a thing we just need to get rid of.
It's exploiting a low trust environment. And in the process, perpetuating the lack of trust in institutions. And
that is going to turn around and bite them,
Absolutely.
if they ever come back to office again. Yeah.
And that's what I keep saying. Are you going to burn it all down just so you can be king of ashes?